This episode of Chuffed Adventures, I get Chuff prepped for sailing and get to work helping the dogs and cats of Golfito. Good morning, Chuffed crew. So before I can get Chuffed out of the marina, there's a few boat jobs that I really have to do. And the first is cleaning the diesel tanks because we're getting some crud in there, and as you know, been sitting here for a long time, which means that all of it's settled down the bottom. Once I get out into the ocean and start rocking around, there's a good chance it'll end up clogging my fuel filters. So let's get to it. Not a fun job, but it must be done. So my plan is to use the diesel pump to get the fuel out of the pipes and into here. And then once the temp's as empty as I can get it, you can see the crud in there. I'm then going to unscrew these and hopefully wipe it out, and hopefully that gets her clean. Now, I can be a little bit blasé sometimes about safety, but I am going to wear this, particularly when cleaning the tank, so that I'm not like inhaling diesel fumes the whole time. And I got some gloves on, just trying to protect myself a little bit more than normal. So basically, I'm going to detach here, which is the fuel pump, and have it come out of another hose that I'll put on and into these bad boys. Okay, here is my setup, pumping through there, and into here. Turns out I got a lot of diesel, so I had to borrow a tank off the neighbours. It says gasoline, it is being used for diesel oil, so don't worry. I've already filled my two. Hopefully this will be the final one and then I can clean the tank. Turns out I still have more fuel. So got some more jerry cans, and these ones, because it's going to be the very last bit of the tank, I'm going to actually dispose of. The others I'm going to refilter, treat them, refilter and put them back in the tank. These ones will go for disposal. This is the current state of the boat. Got the 3 full ones and that one filling. I got all the diesel out. This is my last bottle, and I am going to detach my system, my little rigged up system, and reattach the fuel line, and then we'll drain the fuel filter and everything and then get to the tank. And although I did the fuel filter not so long ago, I am going to take it out and have a look at it after this is drained. And I may even give it a rinse with some clean diesel and then pop it back in, just to try and give it a bit of a longer lifespan now that it's filtered all this fuel out. There we go. Might pop some gloves on for this bit, even though I'm sure I've already got diesel on me, but... Now flick up this little fellow again, this little tab, here we are. So the fuel filter definitely is starting to get dirty. Like I said, I replaced it not very long ago. And given that I'm only going to start taking Chuffed out for a little bit here and there in the coming weeks, I think I'm going to leave it in, and then come the new year look at changing it and re-inspecting it. But I'm going to just give it a little rinse and clean. Okay. She's all rinsed. Put this back on. Okay, working in tight spaces also means filming in tight spaces, but got my mask on. Gonna take these off. I think I got the right size. Yes. Then we can have a look inside the tanks. I can already see that there is growth though. These are really old gloves too, so the diesel like kind of melts them, but I'd rather melt the gloves than my hands. Seems good. There was some debate online about using shop vacs for diesel. I have opted definitely not to because you can start a fire and it's just not worth it for me. So I have another plan of cleaning it out. A manual plan using my hands. So this bad boy is to read the fuel levels. It doesn't actually work, but it's still handy to keep in there because this is much easier to see when you're glancing into the tanks than the actual fuel level itself. So leave him there, take that off and put it down the way it's going to go back. All right, we're in. Now let's look inside. Smoky, smoky. So, you can see all that crud build up here. Look, yeah. Oh, sorry. You can see all the crud here, like so. So my plan is to basically clean that out using a Chuffed cloth with clean diesel on it, because it seems like that's actually the best way to go, rather than trying to introduce new stuff to it. You can get specific cleaners for diesel tanks. It seems debatable whether people like using them or not, and it's not easy for me to find these things here in Costa Rica, so I'm going to go with the more simple and safe method. Sludge. You can see the color of the diesel I'm getting out at the moment. Very dirty. Chunky, chunky. Clean fuel to finish her off. That's where I'm calling it. My God, let's have a look. They are much, much cleaner. So those brown spots around the outside, no matter how much I scrub, they're not really coming off. I think part of it's kind of staining. But there's no big chunks anymore. And there's no really bad pitting either, which is good. So I'll fill her up. Okay, wow, the tanks are clean, and now I'm just going to fill them. I was thinking of filling them from in here, but I actually think I'll just end up with diesel everywhere, so I'm going to fill them from the outside like normal, and fill to the fuel as it goes in, and put some conditioner in it as well. And then the job is done. It took started around 8, and I think it's around 12 now, so around 4 hours. but around 2.5 hours, or maybe not two, maybe 2 hours was actually just draining the tanks and then cleaning. So yeah. It's another slightly rainy day, but 6 in the morning. I'm just going to have a quick breakfast and a cup of tea, and then I'm off to a spay and neuter campaign here in Golfito. So we finally got one organised, and we're going to go fix some doggies and cats. Very typical of doing things in Central America. It's raining and I didn't bring an umbrella because I was going to take a taxi. You'll notice the road is blocked because there's a big cycling event on. So I'm gonna have to walk to the school. I'm almost there. Just walking down some of the very cute, colourful streets of the suburbs of Golfito. I can hear we're in the right location. They're carrying all of the equipment up because the cars can't get through and loading it in to take to the school. Okay, we're up to number 30 in our patients. It's now coming on 12:30. Alright, so yes, up to number 30. I think I just saw a number 50 come in, and I think that's our last patient. So we're all keeping extremely busy, just had lunch, and we'll get stuck back into some space. Just a warning, I'm about to get castrating. Young male cats are the easiest surgery for veterinarians, and the technique Dr. Ricardo uses is really great. The testicles are exteriorized, and the blood vessels and the spermatic cord are looped around the end of a hemostat and clamped. When the testicle is then cut off, you simply push the loop over onto itself and a knot is formed, preventing any bleeding. You do this twice and voila, you're finished. There is a super beautiful sunset behind me. I'll show you it properly soon. But I just finished the spay and neuter campaign. I'm a little tired. We did 50 animals in total, so we didn't finish till 4. It's been a really big day, but as you could see in the videos, it was really good. It was good to get so many animals done and help the community so much. Since I've been in Golfito so long, it's just nice to know I'm giving back. And now I'm going to do a bit of yoga by the sunset and then relax for the rest of the afternoon and do absolutely nothing else on my to-do list until tomorrow. Alright, hasta mañana! I think the sunset's actually getting better and better. Look at that light. Ooh. Oh, it's hitting my eyes, but it's so pretty. Alright, I'm just heading to Rick's place with some wood, and he already has the dinghy, which was a somewhat of an interesting story because we had to walk down this main street of Golfito, basically dragging the dinghy behind us and to get it to his workshop on its wheels. So we know the wheels work well, but Rick is currently getting a seat and oar-lock system together, so we'll go take a look how it's going. Yeah. Oh, you can talk stuff.
I can shorten these up. I was thinking about putting blocks here so that the board just locks right on top of them.
Yeah.
That's an idea. But I think with the board being notched here, it doesn't really need those. So,
oh, it is good to bolt. Let me see. Did you want to have a go? Or do you not really care?
I don't care.
We're nearly there.
We're pretty much there. I think you got it under control.
I think so. It's an easy dinghy to row, all in all.
You probably won't like my turning it this way and then like this. It probably goes poorly for...
I can cut it. One I can use on Instagram. Instagram likes the...
vertical?
Yeah, and she likes horizontal.
Well, you see, that's why I did it. Optionality.
That's
what I'm all about. Me and Sam Pinky.
Maybe I'll just never pay them. Suckers gave me the warlocks before they got me to pay.
I got that on video.
Sometimes the rainy season has more beautiful sunsets than when there's no clouds. Oh, let's go. Good morning, everybody. It's like, I don't know, maybe 5:45. And today is somewhat D-Day. I am taking the documents in today to try and get Chuffed out of bond. And if everything goes as planned, I will then do a rigging check, start the engine and run her for a bit, do a bit of a tidy up. I think that's basically all I need to do, and she will be coming out to sail tomorrow. Woo! So, hopefully I haven't recorded this in vain and we get her out of bond today. Keep you updated. Step 1, make sure I've got all my paperwork. Then I'll go see Bruce and he will do all the talking. Alrighty, so I just finished doing a little mini rigging check, which is always a good idea to do before sailing. I highly recommend for any sailors out there to check out the Practical Boat Owner YouTube channel, because they've got some really cool stuff on it. But I just watched the video on DIY rigging checks, and yeah, it was super helpful. So there's a few important things that you need to check. First is just looking along the mast and boom and at all the attachments of any cracks. So that's the first thing I did. The next thing is checking all of the pins to make sure that the pins are, or any pins or bolts are done up properly and not sitting out, and to check that you actually have good pins through it that are, you know, spread open so they can't slip out easily, because obviously if they slip out, your sails, your stays are going to go pew. And also at the same note, checking the stays. Usually they're made up of 19 wires, and with every wire that breaks, obviously they become less and less strong. And by the time you lose around 4 to 6 wires, you can be at a point of it's ready to break. So checking the base, which is where they join onto their little attachments, is a really common spot that they crack or break. So you can feel along those for any bumps or abnormalities. So I did that. And then just checking like the runner, like anything that can move, checking that it does move, checking that it looks clean, it's not sticky, and that there's no cracks in any of it. And finally, just going around and giving each stay like a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a shake and just checking that it all feels firm. And obviously when you go up the mast too, checking the attachments up top is always a very good idea. And I also just opened my sail bag and had a little look at the sail. It's in pretty good condition still, much the same as it was pre-marina time. So yeah, all in all, I think we're pretty much ready to raise sail and then see how it all goes. All right, so I tried to get the boat out of bond, and I've got some bad news because the paperwork is not the original copies, so I cannot get it out of bond. So I got everything ready, I cleaned all the diesel and did the rigging check and bought a crap load of food to go out with and got crew here, and yeah, can't go out. So it means the next video is going to be a little late because I don't really have much footage yet. Yeah, so a bit of bad news, but I've got some really exciting news too. I am going to be going sailing. So the next video will be a sailing video. It will not be on my boat, but it will be with some ladies you might know. So stay tuned for that. And until then, stay chuffed. Bye.